Hi everyone. I hope you're all well and in good spirits. I got sunglasses on not because I'm trying to be cool, but because I've been crying and tried to make this video a lot of times and just kept getting distracted by my emotions. And the reason I'm emotional is because I saw the video of Tyre Nichols getting beat to death in Memphis. He's from Sacramento, I think. His family's here, so he has ties here, and it's been in the news a lot. And when I saw who beat him, I thought of all the people that I've been calling out. So one of the reasons I have this channel or do YouTube is to try to teach people about systemic racism. And you might ask, well, the police officers who beat him were black. How is that racist? And I could see that argument on a very shallow end of the discussion. But where I'm at in my advocacy is not that the white man is doing it to us, because I've seen the most brown pride, Latino ethnic, shucking and jiving politician vote intentionally to disfavor the same people he beats his chest about. And that's actually been a big part of my advocacy, is calling out that system where people think diversity alone is going to make the world a better place for people of color, and it doesn't. You know, they buy into that good life and then want more of it, and sometimes they have to sell out the people that they came from to get there. And the people who know my advocacy know that calling out that tokenism is central to who I am, because I think that's what makes it harder to recognize and see. The president, you know, I hear on YouTube, oh, this rapper said this about us. Oh, that comedian said that about us. And it's shallow stuff. Tyre Nichols was a black man killed by black police officers in Memphis. This is the head of the NAACP making a brief comment in response to that.
Institutionalized police culture that has this unwritten law that you can engage in excessive use of force against black and brown people.
He said black and brown. You know, they didn't kill a brown man, but the platform he had, he used to look out for us too. That should be recognized. We should be grateful for that. I am. You know, I had a broken tail light one time. And I must have forgot who I was, because this black gentleman, Ron, engineer, been through the Navy, a boxer, had a nice Corvette, beautiful wife, beautiful kids. And again, an engineer, he's got a fat 6-figure salary. Tells me, hey man, I saw your car had a broken tail light. You better fix that shit before the cops kill you over it. And, you know, he's an engineer. He's not in the streets. And he was reminding me of who I was. Someone that police think is okay to treat differently than someone in a suit from East Sacramento that is much fairer complected than me. Dr. King said in his letter from the Birmingham jail that the life of a pioneer is characterized by an agonizing loneliness. And, I got a lot of facets to me, and people love me in a lot of ways, for a lot of different reasons. Funny, I'm good company. I'm consistently, even if we're gonna argue, whatever, I am consistently true to the cause that I profess. If people change, I change with them, and not positively. If you're true to that cause, and you stay loyal to that cause, we're solid. But when you veer from it, we're not no more. And I had once come up with this idea, and I put it out there as a off the rack grant proposal, if you will. And I had friends who I would tell about the racism I was experiencing in this legislative process. It was legislation created the process that was intended to help poor people, right? That was intended to help marginalized people who were getting all the pollution put in their community just because they were black or brown. And so everyone was aware of it. And then when they took on this lead role in the nonprofit world, I was very clear. Look, when I see you praising the people I'm accusing of racism against my people, that's where we part ways. And sure enough, I get invited to this event, and it's in a really nice location, a lot of lawyers and all these advocates. And then they announced that they got a grant, and they praised the same people I was accusing of racism. And people from that group came to me and said, "Hey man, I know that was your idea. So how do you think I felt when my friend lifted up the same people trying to hold me down for exposing their racism against my people?" Recently, I've been informed that they'll no longer be in those positions that enabled them to commit this racism. These are appointed positions, and they're not going to be there anymore. I don't know if that was my advocacy, if it's just timing, if it's just yearly. I really don't know. I'm not so narcissistic that I'll assume it's me, but they won't be in the position to cause harm like they were. Or yeah. And the only one that's been calling them out consistently has been me. It seemed like nobody cared. Like all these groups talking about, we're for equity, we're for change, we're here for black folks, we're here for brown folks, we're for Asian folks. I would tell them, look, man, this shit is hella racist towards all of us. And none of them would speak up because they were getting funding from those racists. Again, Dr. King said in his letter, man, that the life of a pioneer is characterized by agonizing loneliness and calling out like some real fucking racism. You'd be surprised at how many people won't when it hurts them. They'll settle for, hey, just hire 5 black folks, hire 5 brown folks, hire 5 Asians. We need more diversity. Those were 5 black police officers that killed that young man. More diversity doesn't always mean that things are going to get better for you. Just because someone looks like you doesn't mean they're looking out for you. And for me, it's hard because me saying this, like, it goes against the grain. When everyone is saying, look, we got more black folks, we got more brown folks, we're doing great, and they want recognition for it. They're checking a box for some government official by doing that. But what happened to that young man is proof that that is no guarantee that you won't get fucked over, because there's a culture of screwing you over because you're black or brown or Southeast Asian or white and poor, Middle Eastern. You know, it's that's why I don't do identity politics. And yeah, so anyways, I'm grateful to the head of the NAACP for saying, hey, black and brown. He looked out. He looked out. From that powerful platform he had, he didn't have to do that. And so, that said, man, you know, hug your kids. Make sure they know you love them. And when you see something wrong, man, you should call it out. Don't stay in your lane. Call it out, man, because, you know, if one of those cops would have called it out, maybe that young man would live another day. Have a good one.